you. Flip a doujin in the bed, I'm reading manga till it's 2. Tell me that you love us if I go, I'm knowing that's true. Cause you acting all moe and vanilla in my view. So this is for them waifu. Straight 2D flex in my Laifu. If you fuck with him, tell you my dude. Let the beat right out, keep it nice and smooth, yo.
Welcome to the Waifu, the anime podcast where we get drunk and talk about anime, and that's already a fucking drink.
Definitely a drink.
Oh my
there.
gosh.
Holy shit. All right. I'm Hunter.
I'm Kyle.
I'm Dean.
And tonight we're drinking.
And tonight we're drinking. Oh, you get to do it now.
I'll do
right?
it this time. Tonight we're drinking Guinness Golden Ale. Is that it?
Perfect.
Is that all I do?
You could tell me,
Sounds
I don't
good
know,
to
do
me.
you like it?
Yeah, it's good. I don't really know how to explain it too well. Dean?
Quite different than, Guinness. You think of Guinness, you think of dark, but
Yeah,
it does have like the maltiness of Guinness. But
definitely does.
I don't know what maltiness means.
Oh, like the sweet kind of sweetness for.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, anyway, today I want to talk about something that is not very near and dear to my heart, but something that I find really fascinating. That is waifuism and waifu culture. Mm-hmm. So after doing what I will loosely call research on the topic, I've narrowed it down to really being kind of three types of waifu people, waifu interactees.
Sure.
The first is kind of the tongue-in-cheek waifu lover. I think that all of us, and especially Jeremy, are this person. This is the guy who, the second they're watching an anime, a girl will come on the screen and they'll be like, mine, dibs, I get her.
Yeah, that does sound like Jeremy.
And they really enjoy, the best girl argument, kind of arguing who's best girl, but, they're not really at the point of obsessiveness.
Right, Mayval in the Twitch chat says that happens sometimes.
I would argue most people fit into this idea of waifuism. They will argue about best girl because it's fun. And when a new anime comes out, they'll argue about the new best girl. Mm-hmm. The second type is the true obsessive waifu lover. This is the person that walks into the convention holding a body pillow with a half or fully naked anime girl on it. This is the type of person who's vehemently against cheating on his waifu, has one waifu, and will do anything in his power to please his virtual honey.
Sure.
We'll talk about that a little bit later. And the last I will colloquially call the waifu hater. These people just hate the idea, think it's impossible to feel attachment to a fantasy character in any sense of the word. They automatically believe that anybody calling an anime girl attractive is grounds for immediately disowning them as a person.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Now, I have sort of an interesting perspective on waifu culture and waifuism, and there are a handful of ways we express our love for anime. We blog, we make videos, we talk on forums, but most commonly, I think we collect. And the widespread act of collecting in the anime community, whether it be art, figures, DVDs, or manga, encourages the obsessive and possessive nature of both otaku culture and waifu culture. When anime fans like something or hate something, we're consumed by it. It becomes our life. And I've said this before, but watching anime is typically a very private and personal activity. And because of this, we feel like it's ours. We're possessive of it. If we pair this mentality with what we talked about in our attachment and attraction to fictional characters episode, it doesn't seem too out of the ordinary for certain people to find one character that they essentially fall in love with. So that's my overall outlook on waifuism.
But the thing is that, if you, let's say I've chosen, let's go with the super easy answer. Let's say I choose Asuna from Sword Art Online. That's my waifu now, all right, for this example. You have to know that other people share your sentiment. If the idea is to have it be possessive, Asuna is only mine and nobody else can have her. But that a ton of other people are just they have Asuna memorabilia or the body pillows or they wallpapers up the wazoo, whatever.
I mean, I'm sure there's someone out there that feels that way, but I feel like most people, rather than saying Asuna's mine and no one else can have her, I think what they're trying to convey is that Asuna is the only anime girl I will love. I think it's multiple girls versus one girl, for the most part. And that goes into sort of waifu versus best girl, if you don't mind me jumping into that.
Yeah, go for it.
I believe the legitimacy of waifu culture is intentionally incomprehensible. It's paradoxical. Waifuism is a concept built on contradiction. How long can you ironically like something before it becomes real? Is it okay to legit have a waifu? Sure. Whatever makes you happy. Do I subscribe to the philosophy of waifu culture? No. There are a handful of things in the world of anime that I've just never been fond of, like shipping or cosplaying. I mean, I like cosplay.
Wait, would you never cosplay?
I don't think.
Dude, if I had the money, like, okay, if
No,
someone
We
was
said
like,
we would do it someday, okay?
No. Okay, here's the deal. If I had a professional cosplayer make me an outfit, I would wear it.
but you would never like, okay, let's say we
all or
decided, not this year, but next year, we're all gonna do it upright. We're gonna save $300 and do costumes and actually cosplay at Anime Expo 2018. Would you do that?
Yeah, but I'm just saying. Okay, I'm not saying I'm averse to it. I'm saying
Dude,
it's
that'd be
not
the
something.
best fucking Hanzo.
I'm saying it's not naturally appealing to me as a subculture of anime.
What whenever we went to like Anime Expo, that was honestly one of my favorite parts, was just like looking at the cosplayers.
We're getting off topic. This is a different topic. I don't dislike cosplay at all. I'm just saying it's not inherently interesting to me in the world of anime. I appreciate it a lot.
I feel like you have to really be a crafter for
Right,
cosplaying.
exactly.
Like,
It's
you'd
almost
be really crafty.
it's almost a different hobby.
Yeah,
that's what I'm getting at.
Definitely is.
So anyways, in a sense, I feel like waifu culture is consumeristic. We want this fictional character to be our possession. Sometimes literally, there are people who spend thousands of dollars on merchandise for a single anime lady. Rather than waifus, I'm an activist for the best girl movement. Best girls and waifus.
Movement.
I mean, that's what it is. Best girls and waifus, like, while typically one and the same, are not always mutually exclusive. Unlike waifus, you can have multiple best girls, one best girl per anime.
Exactly.
Anime ladies are best within their own narrative. I don't want to take them out of it, just for the sake of making them my waifu. And now that I said that out loud, I realize that almost makes me sound like a fictional women's rights activist. But
Dude.
we all have this terminology. We have all this terminology and these self-imposed rules, which to a certain extent I find to be both pointless and fascinating. The 3-episode rule, confining and defining your taste in anime to a 3x3 grid, having only one waifu, none of this is relevant to anime itself, but it's all a result of otaku culture. Otaku culture is a thriving thing, and waifuism is a prevalent aspect of the culture. And ultimately, the culture we've created does impact the anime industry. Creators are aware of the 3-episode rule, and now, as a result, we have less deceptively boring anime because creators need to get to the point as fast as they can and, hook us as soon as possible. There's also anime just made with the intent for people to choose a waifu. If you don't like what the anime industry has become, we're to blame. Creators are simply giving us what we want, or at least what we spend money on.
That's totally true, though. Like, Love Live exists solely to be a best girl contest. Mm-hmm. And they totally know that. But quick note on the 3-episode rule.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what I said. I know we've covered this before, but I know I no longer subscribe to that. I will turn it off after either 10 minutes or an episode.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all came to the same conclusion that we don't really agree with it. But I just feel like it's ridiculous that we have these community rules that we have to follow. I mean, that's just strange to me.
There doesn't need to be any rules associated with it. Mm-hmm. And bringing rules to it, especially with something like waifuism, is what happens when you get to that obsessive level. So I was actually, during the research, I found a paper called A Discourse on and Defense of the Waifu Movement. Mm-hmm. And it cracks me the fuck up. So I'm just going to read a couple of excerpts from it. I chose these and wrote them down. The proper waifu is a wholesome supplement for one's intrinsic need for belonging and purpose. A waifu is an alternative to the uncaring and sometimes unreachable 3D. If you only claim you have a waifu because you want to distract yourself from lingering desires towards 3D, you are a hypocrite of the worst kind. Mm-hmm. So, needless to say, it goes on like this, and the writer keeps referring to real girls as the 3D and real life as the 3D, and about his fascination with, I assume he, okay, it could be genderless.
Sure.
But the writer assumes that, the 3D and the 2D are totally separate, and that having a waifu is not an escape from like romantic rejection, but rather that they literally do not find real people attractive. So what are your thoughts on that? Is this obsessive? Like, is this the norm for these obsessive people, or is that just like one dude that's a little bit off the walls?
Too many subcultures of it that there's just no. There's many of that don't think the 3D is possible anymore. But
I mean, I think what this guy is saying is very true. I mean, he's being honest. I don't. This isn't surprising to me. Waifu culture has always just existed. It's not shocking. This is simply how people who fall in love with 3D girls act and how they talk and how they, try to communicate within the community. It's not shocking to me. It's just something that has always existed within the anime community.
I mean, I'm a proponent of like whatever. I don't care what your sexual kink is. You do, behind closed doors, as long as it's like legal, do whatever you want. But to me, like, even if I know that somebody feels this way, I can't help but feel pity. And I know this is a strong word and that sounds mean, but every time I see it, I can't help but think that deep down it was because of romantic rejection, and not that they truly believe that 2D girls are just better, but it's because they were rejected by real women. They just say, well, 2D can't reject me, and they just kind of delude themselves into believing that this is what they wanted the entire time.
It's hard to say. It's all speculation. I would love to speak with someone who is legitimately attracted to 2D girls.
I would too, and I would try to be as unbiased as possible. I would just want to listen to the story because it honestly is fascinating to me.
Mayval in the Twitch chat says some people have an easier time connecting with the concept of a person rather than the person themselves. That makes a lot of sense, but I also feel like that's not a good thing because you're projecting your ideals of your perfect woman onto a concept.
That's a drink.
I don't think you should do that. Yeah, take a drink.
A lot of them tonight.
And then Tokimint says, do you think that waifu culture is similar to other tendencies that occur in consumerism hobbies? In Japan, my friends that enjoy games, anime, and music always have a favorite character or favorite member. Then we spend hundreds on that one character. Like it may appear obsessive, we have crazy amounts of merchandise related to this one character, but we've always separated our waifus from our real relationships.
See, that's almost blurring the line, I would say, between what I called like the like tongue-in-cheek waifu lover and the obsessive.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I have figurines of characters from shows I like, and if I happened to really like a certain character from a series, like nobody would really turn an eye if I had a shitload of like Cowboy Bebop stuff. If I had Spike and all these different things and a bunch of spaceships, like people would be like, "Oh, you're just really into Cowboy Bebop."
Right.
But if all of it was Super Sonico, people would be like, "Okay, dude, you need to take a step back here. Like you realize she's not real, right?"
It's so sad, though.
Like, is that not a total double standard?
I mean, no, you're right, but I just wish it wasn't the case. I mean, something we also need to talk about is having more. It goes back to the rules of waifu culture, and can you have more than one anime waifu? And like, if you want to adhere to the rules of the community, yes. Like, the point of having a waifu is to only have one. Yeah, I think we had a question from Mitsuki Stop on like asking if having more than one was degrading to the other. Yes, having more than one waifu does exactly that, degrades the value of the other, but doesn't matter. And the answer to that is only if you want it to matter. I mean, I'm going to butcher this reference, but there's a comedian or a writer who tells this story about his father or grandfather came up to him as a kid and asked, "How do you kill a vampire?" And the kid responds with a stake in the heart, silver bullets, sunlight. And the father interrupts and says, no, you kill a vampire however the hell you want, because vampires aren't real. This anecdote sums up my opinion on waifu culture so well. In a sense, it's just an intricate explanation of, Hunter, you do you. Like, it's really, the rules of waifu culture are insane to me. But waifu culture itself seems understandable or comprehensible. I don't know if it's justified, but I can
definitely see it. Like, I can see being attached to a character, just like, thinking that this character is the best, wanting merchandise of this character. And I can see attraction to a character. Like, I think if you say that anime girls aren't cute, you're just a big fat fucking liar because they're adorable.
That's very true.
But to actually go beyond that to because to me, like, love has to work both ways, and you can never have, at least as far as I'm concerned, you can never truly have like a two-way relationship with like a creation, a 2D object of any sort,
Right.
or 2D animation, or even inanimate objects.
Sure, but that's what body pillows are for.
Right, but that is covered by inanimate objects.
I guess you got it.
That's why I had to slide that in there.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Actually, so the paper, just back to the paper, I forgot about this.
Yeah, go ahead.
The person actually mentions that most people go down the path of waifuism after being rejected romantically.
Okay.
And I think that does speak kind of proof to my point, at least a little bit, in that most people don't choose this. Like, let's say you had the choice, I don't think that people would actually choose to go down a 2D world when there's a girl that has like unrequited love for you, just like right there, right?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
You know what? You do you.
I think there are some people who legitimately think that 2D girls are just more perfect and pure than 3D. But maybe...
Well, that's because they're projecting their own ideals onto what they are. It's like you just see the show, and that's like a highlight reel of their life. You don't get to see any of their like horrible mistakes or how they're not actually a perfect girl.
Sure. So.
All right, Kyle.
No.
Who's your waifu?
No, don't. No, okay. Well, that's a tough question. And I think we need to ask ourselves what makes a waifu before we say, who is our waifu? And like, it's hard. So Shinobu from Bakemonogatari has possibly my favorite character design. That doesn't make her my waifu or even best girl necessarily. I love strong women like Faye from Bebop and Fujiko from Lupin and Robin from One Piece, but none of them...
And Zarya from Overwatch?
No.
She's so strong.
She's strong. I mean, she is strong. I don't have romantic feelings for Zarya, but maybe tough is a better word. Not physically strong. Tough.
Toph is like 9, dude. From The Last Airbender?
No, not tough.
Oh. Tough.
Tough.
Oh, okay.
Tug. But like those tough women aren't really waifu material in my opinion either. And then there are extremely moe high school girls like Mugi from K-On! And Yuki from Haruhi, and they're eternally underage. So I don't feel like
it feels weird, huh?
Waifu material either. For me, a waifu, not best girl, but waifu, has to make sense narratively. She needs to be like the school nurse who says, I'm almost 30 and my mother keeps pestering me to find a husband, but I have such terrible luck with men, which is a much more common trope than you may think. Or like Lukoa from Dragon Maid. I just want to be Shota in that show. But I don't think I have a waifu. You can all come at me with your no waifu, no laifu, but in the narrative sense of my own life, I think it would make sense for Rukia to be my waifu, since she was like my first anime crush. And I hesitate. No way. And I hesitate to even call her my waifu, but if I was forced to pick someone, it would be her.
That's what I was gonna ask. I was gonna say, I don't think you're gonna have one just like ready to go, but if you had to pick, I'm glad you brought that out.
So I think
brought out the big guns.
That's my overall outlook. But I'll turn the tables and ask you, Hunter, who is your waifu? You better have one.
So I have to agree with Kyle. There's no like real obsessive desire for this character, but like if I have to pick a character that I like the most, it's gonna be Kuruzumaki-se from Steins Gate.
That's interesting.
She's the best girl of all best girls.
She's not like moe.
Nope.
Which I would think you would go for.
Just because I love K-On?
I don't know. You like cute things.
Yeah, but I mean, who doesn't? Liars.
That's a good point.
True.
All right, Dean.
Dean, you're up.
I'm just gonna say I don't have one. I mean,
no, you have to pick one. We both prefaced with we don't have
I have
an
a
actual
gun. I
one.
know.
A gun is pointed to your head.
And it just says, "Who is your waifu?"
pick a waifu. But I have no waifu.
3,
You have to pick one.
2, 1. Go.
I would like. I know. I agree with you, Kyle, with you saying how like girls that are tough. I like them, but like, they're just too tough. They're not like loving or like. I don't know. I guess I would say like maybe like the major or something. I don't know.
The major?
That's a classy waifu.
Yeah,
From who?
you know,
From where?
Ghost in the Shell.
Ghost in the Shell.
Oh, okay.
And I hate that like the new movie's coming out and
It came
But
out today.
Scarlett Johansson's
yeah,
hot as fuck, dude.
yeah, but
How is that a
like
bad thing?
but like my whole like representation of the major is like totally different than her. Like just like I feel like she's more of
See,
an older woman, like more mature woman too, and like
Now we
I
know
don't
your tastes, Dean.
I don't know.
Well, no, I kind of
Older
like I said,
women.
I feel the same way. I feel like a waifu for me has to be like in her 30s,
Yeah, at
Really?
least. Yeah.
or like a housewife. You know, I mean, maybe not married, but maybe a single housewife. I don't know.
Oh, she needs to be able to become your waifu?
Yeah,
Is
like
that a rule? Has that ever been a rule?
no, but that's how I feel. I think we need to move on, but we do have one interesting comment from Tokimint saying, "Okay, Hunter, we'll list waifu qualities, and every one that you agree with, you take a drink." All right, we got some
okay.
qualities here. Flat chest. That's a drink. Moe.
No.
Tsundere. Short hair. I'll take,
No.
I'll take a drink.
You
for
have to
that one.
take one for that, dude. Long hair for life.
Modest clothing.
Yep.
Clumsy.
No.
Chunibyo.
Is that imagination or whatever? Imaginative?
You're on the right track.
No.
Okay. Before we answer this week's question, we would like to quickly thank all of our patrons, especially our newest patron, Armando.
Yeah, Armando.
What's up?
What?
We have reached our first goal on Patreon. Granted, it was an extremely humble goal, but now we no longer have to pay to host our podcast on SoundCloud, and it's all thanks to you guys. So thank you so much.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We also want to thank people who have reblogged or shared our episode. Those people are Hakuda-chan, Slan Figma, Minchi, Pensive Loki, Alpha Schema, Big Otaku, Shiri-sama, Darvinger, and Lolita. So thank you guys so much. This week I wanted to answer Pedal Dance question because I found it to be somewhat relevant to our main topic. Pedal Dance asks, to those who have watched Neon Genesis Evangelion, Asuka or Rei, and why?
Wait. Asuka or Rei, and why?
Yes.
Asuka.
Okay, I completely agree. Asuka, Dean?
I'm actually surprised you didn't pick Rei.
I would say Ray.
Interesting. Well, I mean, I have complicated... I guess I'll start. I have complicated feelings, and it's interesting that you think I would pick Rei. Evangelion is unique to me in the sense that I have never had my preferences of characters swap so severely in anything as much as Evangelion. I love both Asuka and Rei, don't get me wrong, but Asuka is without a doubt a far superior character. She may be my favorite female character, like of all time. When I watched Evangelion for the first time, I was probably around 15, and from start to finish, I preferred Rei. I've always liked and still like the emotionless doll type character.
Probably also like Nagato from Haruhi, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Even knowing everything about who Rei really is just made me like her even more. I probably rewatched Evangelion about a year or two later, and I immediately had a completely different outlook on the anime. I had a far better understanding of it, a greater appreciation for it, and a newfound obsession with Asuka. It's actually similar to how I described Senjukahara last week. You think she's just a tsundere, but then you realize she's given a backstory that justifies her archetype of a tsundere. So many anime skip to labels simply because the labels exist, and they forget to put reasoning behind them. Asuka is a severely tragic character with complexity originating from such a simple place. And I like her plug suit. It's cool. So, I mean, I just love Asuka's complexity overall. I mean, that's really what gets me. And her personality is just so strong and memorable. Like, she's been my phone background for like 3 years, I swear.
Oh, yeah,
I
I
haven't changed
remember
it. Yeah.
I just never liked Asuka. I did the same thing. Like I watched it when I was young, and I of course liked Rei beginning with, and I just had a grudge against Asuka. Like I don't know why, but then after rewatching it recently here, I definitely understand her background and everything a lot better. And but I just can't go to her, man. I just gotta stay with her.
It's understandable.
If I had beer left, that would be a drink.
I'll take a drink to that. I'll drink for both of us.
There was a Kill one I let you guys slide on to.
All right. Hunter, did you just said Rei?
No,
you said Asuka.
Asuka.
Okay.
Well, first of all, Ray has short hair.
Yeah.
That's a killer. And second of all, like Asuka's personality, like, you know, having one, that's a lot more meaningful than Ray's would be.
And we also need to keep in mind you haven't seen all.
I haven't seen the series. I've only seen the 2 movies.
3.
So yes, I've seen the. No,
You've seen 3.
I've not seen the 3rd
You've seen
one.
3.
Have I?
I guarantee it.
Okay, fine. I've seen the 3 movies. I have not seen the series.
Let's move on to what we're watching.
Still watching Haikyuu. Currently on like episode 16. Loving it still.
Awesome. What do you like about it?
Just like typical sports and anime. Just learning about the sport, particularly. Loving the main character, the duo. That's kind of odd for.
Yeah.
Usually it's set around one person, but this is more of the duo themselves. But
Like most sports anime, it's hard not to marathon.
yeah,
Like you just
I stopped it right after one game, so
Right.
I'd be able to stop there. If I
Right.
started the game, I would have to watch it. So
so,
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Wait, so games span like multiple episodes?
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh damn.
All right. Hunter and I are on episode 11, second
So,
to
yeah.
last.
Honestly, I want to
Katanagatari.
watch the final episode after this episode.
We might watch the last episode tonight. So.
Right. So now, this is where the good shit happens. Like Katanagatari.
Oh, mate! The spoiler alert! If you have not seen Katanagatari,
I'll keep it spoiler free.
Okay.
But it has gotten like a lot better. I'm much more happy with the pace of what's happening right now. I'm happy that you know things are finally coming to a resolution, not only in relationships but in like, you know, all the fighting. I'm glad to see lots more actual fighting happening. I think that all of the twists I saw coming like a mile away, like all the little dude. You were sitting here next to me, and I was like, "This is gonna happen." And
the little twist. Sure.
yeah,
Not like,
I was like,
okay.
I called the shit out of all of that, but I'm really liking it. I'm really stoked to see what happens at the end, and I'll give like a full summary kind of once we
Okay.
get there.
Okay.
And then you wanted me to watch Shingeki no Bahamut.
Oh, did you do it?
I watched the first episode.
Yay!
Fuck that shit.
What?
Like the CGI dragon looked so stupid to me, and I tried to watch the second episode. I finished the first episode. Are you trying to think of where the CGI dragon is?
No, I'm just judging you.
Okay. Anyway, I really don't like the main dude, the like curly headed orange hair guy.
Oh, he's fine.
Whatever. He's lame as hell.
No, he's cool.
Only the like there's a little bit of cool stuff in part 1, but like getting into part 2 and seeing all this backstory, I was just I'm not having any of it. You know
Okay.
what I did start watching? Just I felt like it. You know what I did? I went to my anime list. I clicked on Kyoto Animation, scrolled through it, and I was like, Hyoka. That's it. We're gonna watch Hyoka. Watch first episode. Gonna watch the second one soon. And I'm gonna marathon that shit.
Damn it, Hunter.
What?
Well, I guess I should thank you for at least trying, Bahamut. And I'm not
Dude,
surprised whatsoever.
Hyoka and her like purple eyes, and then like whenever she looks at you in the
Well,
face, like,
Okay,
you know, freaking like
right.
plants grow and stuff.
Hyoka is not greatly received.
Oh look, it's best girl in the flesh.
I am in the minority thinking that Hyoka is a lot better than most people think. For me, I didn't really watch too much because a lot of shows have already ended. Because it's the end of the season, we're starting a new season, get hype.
Shingeki.
Sure, whatever. But
Look, man, even your wallpapers agree with me.
that's weird that that's happened like twice tonight. But I did finish Kuzuno Hankai, and Kuzuno Hankai was probably my favorite and possibly the best thing that aired this season that wasn't a sequel. I loved the ending. I have a few minor complaints regarding the scene where Akane-sensei and the main girl interact. Their dialogue exchange felt sort of strangely lighthearted considering everything that happened between them. But when you think about it from an extremely realistic standpoint, and you really put yourself in the main girl's shoes, the awkward tone of that scene makes a lot of sense. If you like not heart-wrenching, but just dark love stories with a lot of emotional weight, you should check out Kusuno Hankai. It may not be for everyone, but you will find that out very quickly if it's not for you.
I don't really know how to do the outro.
I'll do the outro, and then if you're in the Twitch chat, we will stick around with you and answer some of your questions that you've been asking. So real quick, please keep sending us questions or opinions on anime you're watching. You can send questions to us anywhere. We're theweeaboos@gmail.com. I'm Secret Otaku on Tumblr. We're on Twitter and Instagram. Or just leave a comment on wherever you're listening. Join us on the Twitch chat when we record on Fridays if you want to, be a part of the conversation. If you like what we do and you want to support us, please consider helping us out on Patreon. Share the podcast, please. We'd love to get the word out. We'd like to get new listeners. If you don't want to miss out on anything, click the subscribe or follow button. We also like iTunes reviews. We want to thank Hentai Dude for our intro music and Kuagata for our outro music. And like always, get
Drunk.
And
anime. See you guys next week. Peace.
You can catch me smoking a sour off the coast of Okinawa. Feeling so high like I'm Ho-Oh in a tower. Take a flight on some shit. Got my dogs riding beside me, blazing hot. That's kamikaze, sacred fire. Don't be mad, I'm lit. Catch me smoking a sour off the coast of Okinawa. Feeling so high like I'm Ho-Oh in a tower. Take a flight on some shit. Got my dogs riding beside me, blazing hot. That's kamikaze, sacred fire. Don't be mad, I'm lit.
and actually, okay, you having the Ray versus Asuka debate means I need to make sure that we agree on something.
Okay.
From ReZero, Rim or Amelia?
Ren.
Are you fucking kidding me? Seriously?
Seriously.
Bad choice.
No,